Hello everyone, it is Leela.
And Bo.
And welcome back to our channel.
What's up, nerds?
Today we are going to recap and review episode 6 of Boys to Planet, aka Everyone Loves Na Yunso.
Yeah. Good episode. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I thought this week was pretty good, though. Yeah. Again, we'll get into it here. So today we're going to go through the first part of the position battle, the performances, which was only 3 of like a lot more. There's going to be so many next time. Yeah. It's going to be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we'll go through our updated top 8s.
Quick, what am I talking
Housekeeping?
about? Housekeeping, little housekeeping. We have done, I think this is our 6th podcast? Series, whatever, of only this kind of topic, reality show or competition shows, K-pop shows. We've done since 2007. I didn't get a total count, but we've done a dozen or more podcasts.
Yeah.
So we have hundreds of hours of us speaking,
mm-hmm.
And as you know, so you can imagine how much it is. It's really interesting. And every time you do a podcast, there's a moment where you kind of worry about burnout, or will I be able to? I'm not as interested in the topic anymore. Not that that's happened with this. I've actually enjoyed this one probably the most of all of them for a while. But you start to worry, a little bit. And then Leela was sitting down, as she does when she's into something. She obsesses over it. And she's watching season 1 of Boys Planet and puts on the glory that is the dance battle episode.
Yes.
And if you haven't watched that, I'm sure everybody here has, or who's listening has, but go watch it, because you really see, I think, a bit more of a free, fun contest. This year was great, but it was more kind of professional seeming in a way, like more. Yeah. More. It wasn't as much joking around. There was serious.
We only had one silly dancer, which was Surin. But last time there was like 2 or 3 that were just hilarious.
Yes.
Anyway, dance battle was last episode.
Whatever. But I'm just saying that it really helped to remind myself of some of my favorite idols that you think, oh, I wish they were being in the group and they never made it in the mm-hmm. group, but they still created such an impact, like Woongi, for example. Mm-hmm. I think Woongi is still a very underrated idol. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's not as great of dancer and singer and rapper as some, but he is such a great personality. I would like to see him. And then what's his name? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name. He did the spin around where his arms are doing like the crazy.
Kwon-ri, who is now in X-Love.
He's in X-Love. It really was a good vitamin C shot, or whatever you call it, vitamin B shot of like, oh, this is why this is fun. This is really, really this season definitely has some fun stuff as well. So I would like to thank Lita publicly for being obsessed with her topics at any time.
We hadn't, since we watched Boys Planet originally and did the show and everything, and when it was over, I never went back and rewatched it, and I kind of at that point, dropped, watching shows like this as a hobby. We did a little bit of Queen and Puzzle and then quit halfway through.
That was only when we quit halfway
through. So I kind
of
lost interest a little bit, and then coming back into it, I'm very nostalgic. And anyway.
Yeah. So go watch it. If you're feeling the slog of going through the emotional, ups and downs of a show like this, go watch the dance battle one from season 1. It's really, really fun.
And speaking of that, I don't interact on any social media about this stuff or interact in K-pop fandom. I don't use Twitter because it's evil. I don't use TikTok.
Yeah, I do a little Reddit, and that's about it.
The only thing we do is be on YouTube, and I read the subreddit.
Yeah.
And I like the Boys Planet subreddit, but man, the girlies are going through it.
Yes.
The emotions that the turmoil in the posts every day. Yes. I'm everyone. Deep breaths, just have a prayer circle for your faves. It's gonna be okay.
Well,
we're gonna get through this together.
And they also have to remember that this show is a winner for only 8 people or whatever the segment is. Mm-hmm. But that is not a guarantee of a long-term career. It's a guarantee of a temporary project. So this show is more a vehicle for people, an Arctic or a Chingy or somebody, Chingwi, who will impress everybody and is also young enough to still have a career. So have to keep that in mind. Keep calm and carry on.
There's a lot of talk about evil editing and this, that, and the other, whatever. And there certainly is some of it, and there's certainly that element of your fave not getting any screen time and that being really frustrating, and we've talked about it a lot. But I think in some ways, the the reality TV show producers are trying to make good reality TV show stories.
Of course, they have to keep it glued.
And some of that is like about who they want to like uplift versus someone else that they don't want to uplift. But it's also a little bit, there is a crumb of who's going to give them something good to work with, who's got a compelling storyline that can be mined for this television show to show. And I feel like with the Shinlong and Yoonso storyline was really well produced reality TV show storyline.
Yeah.
I feel like some of these other ones are like, it's a pretty good, like,
it's like
it's
as though there are two teams that work in Mnet. One who's like, we've got to get that evil so people, and like click back in, and then there's one who's like, we've got to be responsible.
Is sexy or whatever. He's giving them a lot to work with.
That's why I'm telling you. Well, we'll talk about it, but that's why I think they convinced him to stick around.
Anyway, so moving on to the performance battle, just to set it up really briefly. This is the one where everyone gets to go for like their specialty, so dance, rap, or vocals. There's a lot of songs this time, and the song selection this year is not good.
Oh, I'm fine with it because
most of the songs I don't know.
That's fine. I'm kind of tired of hearing. Although I got to say they don't do it all the time, but I don't. It's good to get away from the normal modern day hip hop. I mean, Xbox, good God, K-pop songs that they always have them do. We always have a
BTS
idol.
and
We always have a
EXO.
BTS. We have,
I know, but some of these are like they're mining a little bit like deep in catalogs.
It doesn't really matter because the performance battles, I think, are just to show you performing.
That's true.
It's not
what you can do with it.
It's not here's how we look like BTS or feel like BTS. Is here's our unique ability, and so maybe they want to get you removed from your opinion on the song a little bit.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know, but I'm fine.
I just feel like the songs this year weren't great, and they did it a little bit differently than last time in that each song has like a set number of performers that can be in it, and a set number of all-stars and then 2 stars. The all-stars got to go from rank 1 to whatever it was, 24 or whatever, and choose what song they want to be in, and there's no like pushing anyone out. So we'll get to it, but the people in the lower end of all-stars were kind of in a difficult position, even though they were all-stars, because they just had to like pick from what's left, and that's how Lee Jong ended up in a rap team, even though he's never rapped.
Yeah.
Even though he was an all-star, and you would think that would give him some sort of advantage
The all-star means
in his
nothing.
choice.
The all-star most
it actually gave a really big advantage to the top-ranked all-stars, a slight weird disadvantage to the lower-ranked all-stars, and then all the 2 stars was kind of like they got to whichever song they wanted to perform to go up to the all-stars and like audition plead their case for, because the all-star could then choose the people they wanted to be in the 2-star on their team. Which was like fine, but I think it really made it a little bit awkward for some people. But
I don't know how they decided on the slots, how many would be in what. But
like, why was someone on a rap song? We don't even know. But I think it was because it was like he didn't have a lot of choices.
Yeah, but also maybe he was trying something different. I don't know. That's the thing that I don't like about this show is maybe it's a English barrier thing, or something, but I don't understand everything, and I just don't really care.
The thing that they pointed out too that they were discussing, Lee Jong was discussing it with Big Bo because he was the last of the All Stars. That the All Star first 2 rows didn't have a lot of rappers in it, so there's like how many rap songs that needed to have someone filled from the All-Stars.
Yeah.
And a lot of the rappers, because they're not getting a ton of votes, because people don't vote for rappers on these shows, are in 2-star rank. So, that like the All-Stars in a lot of the rap songs were like put up against the 2-stars who were better at that than them. Anyway, it was a bit awkward.
I think it would have made much better TV because they actually kind of did something like this, I think, in Girls. I can't remember. No, in Boys Planet, I think. Have the top whatever pick out their favorite song and then or whatever, and then just let them spend an hour or 2, every single person get together and just try to form groups.
I don't know.
Try to say and have that person, the all-star who got to pick that song, decide on the groups.
That's what they do in the first round.
No, I know, but it's just make it this is just complicated stuff. Now, you do want all the strong dancers in a dance song, stuff like that, but I like that this season they have mixed it up a bit more. There's
the positive in the way they're doing it is that they are forcing the All-Stars, all the like Avengers, the like top row of people, to separate from one another.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's fewer All-Star
Yeah.
positions per team.
Yeah.
So they're kind of forcing them to mix it up, which I appreciated. So they couldn't
I
all
don't
just
really feel like
clump together.
I don't really feel like there was a single team. Now we haven't seen all the performances, but a single team that really was completely disadvantaged because of this system. I just felt it was a clunky. It's just more confusing. I'm like, what? Just put the teams together and go, you know. But yeah,
So
you're right.
wants
It's
team,
good.
well,
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
But we haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so that was the format, and we only got 3 performances this week. The first one we got...
What was the first part of the rest of the episode, I guess, was this behind the stories.
Was the making teams.
Right, but
Yeah.
right, yeah. So that took up all the time. With Yuri came out. Yuri
The
came
teams
out.
that didn't perform today, the story stuff that happened when they were like setting up their teams, we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah.
With their performances.
Yeah.
Because they showed a little bit of each team of like picking who's going to be the center and this, that, and the other, but we won't get into that. So the first team to perform today was the team doing XXL by Young Posse.
Was Young Posse there? What was their team name? Do we know?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I thought Young
it's
Posse
not. It's
was
not
their
on the
team.
Wikipedia page.
Oh, I
so
thought Young Posse was their name.
So I don't know what their
Because usually they
team
come
is.
up with a cute name. You know,
No, that's the like group. I'm not familiar with this song,
no at all.
but I think it's a like relatively new song that's done in an old-fashioned style.
It was a girl group song, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
I think
something
they were
like that.
trying to do. There was a thing for a while in K-pop. I remember a couple of years ago where they seemed like they were
Retro.
going retro, but like 90s retro.
Kepler did a retro song like this.
It sounded good,
and it was
yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
a sidetrack, and they did like
It
a
sounded
retro
like
song.
yeah,
and I
like
really
a-
liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this team, like, cutie powered to the max, the Cutie Avengers. So Yoonso and Sun Jia-young, who is this right
Yeah.
here,
The cutie who's the oldest in the group actually.
were the all-stars. So they got to choose this song, and Yoonso chose this song. And then, in addition to them, they added Ping Jinyu, sorry, and Arctic, who just barely survived the cut last time and got everyone's
Man.
attention because of the dance battle.
And
I'm like,
can he sing too?
and I
thought
felt
he
really
sang.
bad. Well, I don't know.
I thought he did a moment of
I don't
singing. But
remember.
anyway, yeah, no, yeah.
Felt really bad for like not rating him up until that point, but I'm super glad he's
Hey, man.
here. And then he did so good
That's
here.
all it takes. You can survive by the skin of your teeth. That's fine as long as you
You
make
get
it
your
past
second
those cuts.
chance.
You just keep
Yeah.
you keep taking it. And he's an impressive kid. I honest to God thought this was going to go the way of kind of like. No, they were good. They were fine. You know, maybe they had some drama and like, oh, it was really, you know, they did great. It was a fun little.
It was so
good job,
cute.
and you pat them on
Look,
the head.
The reality TV show story producer, I just like owe you a fruit basket. Like, well done on this one. It was really funny because, like, this team has 2 Chinese member, Arctic, who is I believe Thai,
yeah.
and then 1 Korean member,
that's
and
Yoonso,
the 2
right? Yoonso.
Chinese members don't know Korean very well, so they all, when they were meeting initially, met in the middle with a little bit of English, which I think is just
This is
so
adorable.
cute.
And by the way, we don't say that to be like belittling
Condescending.
of somebody who's.
But they're
But
teenagers. They're
everybody,
cute.
when I've said this before, everybody when they hear somebody attempting to speak the language you know personally, and they are not struggling, but they're giving it their all. It's makes you feel good because there's somebody trying to break down the barrier between you. That's a nice feeling, and it helps when they're super adorable little kids like this. They're like, no, okay, you know, it's like, what are these little
and
hamsters?
Look, this whole team, like,
This
they
was
really
probably my
lucked
favorite
out
segment, honestly.
because, you know, the 2 Chinese members, Ji Young and Jin Yu, I don't think understood in selecting a dance category that they had to actually make the choreography.
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
sat down and they were explaining
That's
it,
right.
Arctic was explaining we have to make the choreography. They were like terrified.
They
like,
thought, oh, the
they were
whole
like,
amount?
what? We have to make this? We do not know how to do that. So they just were like, Arctic, you can be the team leader, and Yoonso, you can be the center. Like, go ahead, do whatever. And they didn't even try out because they were so scared.
Now, quick sidebar. Yoonso, we watched the other night. He was on that JYP program.
On Loud, yeah.
On Loud, where they're going to make a group, and it was controversial because he was literally like a tot. He was like
12?
11.
11?
To be fair, he looked so young anyway. I honestly thought he was 9 or 8.
tiny.
He was tiny. He had his little cheeks, and he is, granted, he was a lot smaller. His skills weren't there, but you could see the dance skill. Mm-hmm. But you could tell he's a little nervous, stuff like that. But he was fantastic, and I guess he went pretty far, right?
I don't know.
But the point is that he has been doing this like the Boy Story Boys for a long time.
Yeah, he's been a trainee for a long time.
Yeah, and he said I choreographed something like 80. Was that him who said
no,
that?
No.
Or was that Arctic?
No. That was Harry June that choreographed 80.
Oh, but
songs.
he mentions choreographing something though, and I remember thinking, okay, well I'll believe. And then we watched him on that show where he's a little kid. And I'm like, oh, that's why he's a good dancer. He actually is. He's coming into his own in this show, right in front of our eyes. He's becoming a man. It's like the dude is,
like it was just so. He is just such a delightful person to watch on the show. Like. He's just so fun, and he's confident in himself in his own way. He's not self-conscious. He just had really like a lot of fun. He was very excited and enthusiastic, and him and Arctic coming up with the choreography together, and they like consulted with like Harry June and Yumeki, like that's to get advice, just like smart. Should I do this and that, which was so cute watching them like reach out to them and then like make the dance up, and then like. Again, the other 2 members who you thought, oh no, they're going to struggle or do bad, they did good. They learned what was taught to them really well and like stepped up. Mm-hmm. And so the whole storyline was so funny because Yoonso, this is not his first reality TV program.
Well, he's also watched them too.
So he has like broken the fourth wall multiple times at this point. And it made me laugh because he was like, okay, we're going to go into our first midpoint check-in, and they did the dance or whatever. And all they got was compliments. And he was like, wait.
They got number one, didn't they?
Wait. Why am I not getting scolded? And then they go in and perform for Xiao Ting, and he was like, "Oh God, I'm so scared. She's gonna."
Well, they walk into a room and she's sitting there.
Oh, she's gonna get us. Oh no!
Like this goddess of dance, because everybody knows Xiao Ting's like an incredible
he's
dancer.
Like so scared, and she just like compliments, and he's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Great. If you do well in the midpoint, that means you're gonna mess up at stage rehearsal." Yeah, here it goes. He's like, "That's what this means. You know how this goes on in net." I was like. So funny. And then they did the stage rehearsal, got more compliments. And then they did this performance, and it was great, and everybody loved it. I thought that was really funny. That was
well, every thing is every time from practice until the final, 3 or 4 times you see them do it, they're sweating their guts out.
They were really giving it their
all.
A
lot of people are. They're making them wear hot clothes, but still, they're really. And that I think was the secret with this group is they have a similar vibe. They're cutie, small people, especially. The Chinese kid on the far left, Cutie Patootie. He's the oldest, and he is like very small. Like he's Nako size. I mean, the more I watch him, the more I'm actually starting to like him. I think he's quiet because his language barrier.
Ji Young and Jinyu are 19. Arctic is 17 and Yoonso is 15. They're teenagers, all 15, of them. They're tiny.
Yoonso, he's showing. So anyway, what I think might have happened. I mean, I'm not knocking their work ethic or anything at all, but maybe the language barrier stopped them from just BSing all the time or arguing, and they just got to work. And what I liked about it is, what I liked about Yoonso in his signal song. Mm-hmm. He did the lollipop thing. Everybody said, "Oh, that's cute. That'll be the peak." Then he did the signal song, and he did better than people who were debut idols.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking, to me, there's nothing I like more than, yes, it's a reality show. It's a bit silly. We know there's editing and stuff like that. But somebody who comes along and just works and actually says, you know what, this is an opportunity. Mm-hmm. I'm 15, but I'm going to take it. I don't know if he'll make it in the group or not, but he's definitely putting his stamp. And all of them did great because the choreography, if you really watch it, has an old school feel. Yes. That is, they did. Kaney said something
She said they interpreted it really well, and I was like, they really did.
I mean, these kids weren't born anywhere near the 1990s. Yeah, they had to look this stuff online, or he was familiar with it or whatever, or he just has a good eye for the vibe of a dance. Arctic probably does. He seems really, really good. And the other two, I think, were just like, you know what, keep our heads down and work our asses off. Yeah. And I just think it was a really fun, it really matched. All of these performances on this episode, but especially this one, just felt like you were watching a fun concert, like a K-pop. And I thought this maybe add 2 members, but that could be a younger audience's boy group, kind of singing about homework and stuff. I just thought it was such a feel good moment. But sometimes you watch those feel good moments, you think, oh, they edited it to be that way to give him, but no. They're not lying. They would have told him if something was wrong. Mm-hmm. And they were just like, you guys are got it. And you know what I think they did? They just practiced until it became muscle memory. Mm-hmm. And so they had fun on stage. Now, the rankings, Unlike some of the other ones in this episode, I completely agree with these rankings.
Yeah.
I don't know about how many people voted yes or no, whatever, but I mean, I just look at it as like first, second, third, fourth, that kind of ranking. And I do agree. Yoonso and Arctic were top two. The other two kids were the bottom. And I think the only reason on the far left fell to the Ji-young fell to the bottom is he did look a bit nervous or a bit like he was counting the steps. He looked the, I don't want to say weakest because he did a great job. But, you know, he did look a little bit nervous.
So whenever the audience votes, it ranks you, and then however many slots for All-Star there are in the team, the top 2 votes are that All-Star, and then the bottom are the 2-star. So in this one, Arctic jumped up to All-Star, and Ji-young went down to 2-star. So that means that Arctic and Yoonso get bonus points for being All-Stars.
But to be fair to Ji-young, I said this I think on the first episode of this. I don't think he deserved an All-Star. I'm not saying he was bad, but I think they were just being a little too generous. So I think 2-star is better for him. That doesn't mean he's bad.
Yeah.
But he could cook a little more. But for a young group, they just had, it was just a really, and I gotta say, age appropriate dance. There was no, grinding, humping the air.
They got matched well in a team and matched with a good song, and that's like a perfect storm for a good performance.
True, but Yoonso, I think you could put him in any situation and he's going to give it his all. Yeah. I think that's the charm.
Really
and Arctic as well. So this was a great segment.
And then we had our first rap performance with Hot by One Time, which is an old song from like 2003, I guess.
I remember 2003.
No one in the room had heard of it except for Leo.
Yeah, it was like, guys, what are you not doing?
And he's like, whoa. And they're like, are you going to go for the song then? And he thought about it, but changed his mind. We'll talk about that next time. But so for this first rap,
I was shocked nobody knew it except Leo. That was like, dude, what is he? Is he have?
I don't know this.
Old people
like
taste?
I'm familiar with some older K-pop, and I don't know. I've never heard of One.
It was fun. I thought it was a fun song.
It sounds very old, like that old fashioned.
But
the same way the Young Posse song sounds, it's like that. It's calling back to that.
Look at Hype's new group. I'm telling you, they're going to start going more not retro, but more of a simple style. They're not going to get more complicated with K-pop. Anyway, do you want to talk about the segment, the drama, and all that jazz?
So the all-stars for this one was Big Bo, Neon Bohang. He picked the song. He's a rapper. It was his choice.
Good rapper.
And the other all-star was, like, the second to last in the all-star was Lee Jong, who is the other member, which I hadn't clocked earlier in my watching of this show, the other member of Weeb with Joonmin, who is a vocalist, has never rapped before. So he kind of got stuck in this song with Bo as the all-stars. And then the 2 stars was Lee Ji-hao and Zhang Xing, a.k.a. Sexy.
Yeah.
They had tried out for other songs and not gotten chosen.
They pleaded their case and
then kind of ended up in this team as like a second choice. So that's how this team was formed. The behind the scenes for this one was so weird. Like I've said every time we've talked about Zhangxing, Sexy, that he's very puzzling to me. I can't read him very well. And this was like even more puzzling because he was in a really good mood that day. They went in and they picked their teams or whatever. They sat down and like, okay, who's going to be the leader? And he like wanted to be the leader of his team, which was puzzling.
He's trying to make a public change. He's trying to be. He's trying to get a little serious now.
I think he had mentioned later on, referring to him saying he wanted to make a new start or a new impression or like for himself or whatever after having the sort of negative edits before with the lose sticker and everything, which is like, okay, like he was wanting to turn over a new leaf and he was like really enthusiastic and him and Ji-hao were clowning and the whole room was like, oh my God, they were acting so people. Cringe. I love them, but they were being so cringe. And Lee Jong was just like, oh my God, what am I going to do with these? And I was like, I understand. And then they get together and they like start to write their lyrics and they're working. And then like they have like a mild disagreement between Lee Jong and Zhangxing about if they should be working on their like, mild choreography that they're going to do for this or memorizing lyrics. and they disagreed, and like didn't argue or anything. It was just a light
They
disagreement.
were both arguing from their own worlds of familiarity.
And also there's also the element of Ji Hao having to translate between Zhangxing and Li Jong, because he's the only Korean member in the team.
Big Bo understands, I think.
Big Bo, I think it has a little bit more fluency, whereas I think Zhangxing doesn't have fluency in Korean at all.
It's crazy to think, because both these languages are
he's
hard.
Ji Hao's trying to like play translator and also play mediator between these two,
which
who are
is so unfair.
Arguing. They put him in a really unfair position. He's really cool about it. Like, he's like the coolest dude.
It's cool to also be needed like that, but yeah.
But they put in, and so like he like Zhangxing like was like, I have to leave. And they're like, what do you mean leave? Like, go to the bathroom? Like, what do you mean? And he's like, no, I'm going to leave the show. And they're like, what? So he goes to the side with a couple of producers and like says he wants to quit the show. I don't understand the reason.
Well, I think it's all, to me, in my interpretation from what I saw, it's all crystal clear. You have the one Korean kid come along, and I do think he knew this Korean kid was probably going to get all the votes.
No, why would he know that?
I think it was, or the edit would go against him, at least. Let's say that when he started to see a small disagreement come up between him and the Korean kid, I think he knew as soon as I say another word, it could be 2 words, they will edit it out of context. I think he was overreacting. Yes. And I don't think the Korean kid, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name. Li Jong meant anything by it. He was wanting to have a discussion. He's more of an idol who does dance. And also, he's more of a rapper who wants to do the rap part. But what I'm saying,
but Li Jong is like having to do something he's not familiar with, so you're not having any sympathy for his struggle.
Right, but he should have. Anyway, the point being, I do believe he, for a split second, thought, or maybe even that's 10 minutes or whatever, thought, you know what, I can't navigate constantly worrying about getting edited poorly. I'm not going to make it into this group. You know, this is all going through his head in a second. He just goes, you know what? I'm leaving the show. And they were like, no, you're getting us clicks, man. Come on. No, and they convinced him to stay.
They went behind doors and like convinced him to stay or change his mind.
We can't forget. Sometimes, especially when you're young and you're passionate and you don't have a girlfriend or your best friend around or your mom or whatever, you need somebody to talk to. And maybe he's not comfortable necessarily talking to people he don't know that well.
Ji Hao was hanging out with him the whole time.
No, what I'm saying is he went to the producers and kind of got it off his chest.
Yeah.
He was saying, I'm just kind of, this is bugging me.
Yeah.
And to be fair to him, some of them are better at navigating this world than others. Yes. And I just think that he's sensitive.
Been having trouble navigating this world the whole time.
I would remind you that I am the guy who walks in the party and owns the party in 5 seconds. I have no problem doing that. You're the person, if somebody makes you slightly uncomfortable, like, just get away from me, and you want to just be left alone.
Yeah.
Everybody is different that way, and I think that people need to understand, just because you can turn it on stage doesn't mean... Leo was talking about this in his interview, Leo. We were watching an interview with him, and he said, actually, I'm quite an introvert. And everybody gets shocked, and it's like, on stage is a different beast. Yes. I've been on stage myself, and it turns you on in a way, you know. So when it's not unbelievable that he just is not really good with working with other people, and he's conscious and maybe being overly paranoid about the edit, which he should be. So. But at the same time, he has to know, he needs to go talk to Yoon-so. And Yoon-so say, no, you had a bad edit. Now you're getting ready to have a good edit. And what happened is I think he did get a good edit. And not a good edit, but he did better, I should say. He didn't do bad.
He came back to the team, though, and they were sitting down. And I thought it was really, like, telling and a little bit sad that he would, like, sit down and, like, Li Jong is, like, really trying to be, like, if you're struggling, you need to tell me why so that we can help you and understand. And because we can't, like, we have to work together. And he's like basically said, I don't want to. They're going to edit it.
Yeah, but
so he like refused to speak to them about what he was feeling.
But I think that they kind of let it go, and he just kind of was like, all right, let's just get to work. Let's stop talking about it.
So they just got back to work.
But you know, I have to say, and I say this every time, a lot of these reality shows, especially the Korean ones and especially Mnet ones, are really can be really evil in their edits.
Yeah.
A lot of times they just show how a lot of these kids are really good at communicating, working through their emotions. I think it's a really touching thing because young men, especially in the U.S. especially, are having a horrible time right now with they're doing horrible stuff because they can't express their emotions. So this is to me, I thought was, as a man, it was a very touching moment. So I think he's perplexing to the others as well because he is a unique creature. Having said all that, I don't give a crap who does the lead. There was 4 people. You don't need to worry about a leader.
No.
Just get to work.
I know they really they didn't need to worry about that so much.
They worried about leader in the 2 group, which we'll talk about.
That was so funny.
It was so bad.
Yeah, he didn't need to put extra pressure on himself. I don't know. Anyway, the other story from this one is, again, everyone loves Lee Ji-hao. He is carrying the weight of the entertainment value of this show on his back, and is delightful and funny. It was his lyrics, and I don't think that really came across unless you went outside of the show and looked up the translation.
The translation to whatever language.
Because when they're even in the practice when he was there with Justice,
yeah.
They put the lyrics on screen, but they're not translated, so we're kind of missing the context.
Yeah, it's weird.
And he was just he got complimented on his lyric writing, and then was clowning him on pronouncing MIC wrong.
What do you say? MIC?
MIC?
Something like MIC, something like that.
MIC instead of MIC. And then pronouncing Songwon's name wrong.
Oh, yeah. What is it, by the way? What do I say? Songwon.
Relatable King.
Sangwon?
Relatable King. It is Songwon, not Sungwon. Sung.
What?
Not sung.
Songwon is what I say.
Sung.
Yeah, not Sungwon.
Sung. I think we've been saying Sungwon sometimes as well.
We have a slight accent.
Relatable King.
Back in the day.
Relatable King.
Oh, yeah, no.
And so that was really funny. Because he shouts out to Songwon's visuals in his lyrics.
Yeah, and Justice says, look, what Ji-hao is saying here is he's ugly. He's telling the other kids in the room.
Yeah.
But this group has it. And he put in quote marks. Because I think what he was saying is they might not feel great about themselves, although he's talking about Ji-hao, I think he meant. But that's how you rap with confidence, because he's a really good rapper.
They're probably going to be the best rap team, to be honest.
Oh, I thought it was...
If I were to predict...
other than some of the weaknesses, I think overall was a fantastic performance. The thing is about Ji-hao, and I'm tired of hearing about ugly. I'm tired of hearing... I own the criticism, but then you squash it and you move on. And also, I don't want him just to be the clown, because I think he is a good idol. I think he's a great rapper. I hope the next trajectory for him is getting a little bit more, showing off his skills a bit more, not just being the clown, because you know what happens when you're just a clown. You don't get into the group, people don't take you seriously, whatever.
Well,
but the ugly thing, give me a break. Canny is, I have to say, just a side point, probably the most beautiful person I've seen on the show. Of all the way back to the beautiful, soft-spoken vocal coach from Produce 48.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
She is just a goddess. She is. But young people, I wish they would understand, or people in general, especially these days, and I'm sure Ji-hao understands this. He's just owning the meme a little bit, but I hope he understands this, that she's not attractive, and I don't mean just physically or whatever, but as a person, because of her physical beauty. She's intelligent. She speaks at least 3 languages, French, English, Korean, probably understands more, right? She's skilled. We know who were you saying she did Beyonce?
She did.
Stuff?
I looked her up today because I was like, I need to know how old Connie is.
39.
She's 39.
I predicted 27. I mean, she's just...
That's amazing.
She's skilled.
Yeah.
She's funny as all get out.
Yes.
She has the second most lines of comedy, probably behind Ji-hao.
Her and Ji-hao are carrying this television show.
But here's the best thing. She is, from what I have seen, empathetic and kind. That there are so many aspects to attractiveness that I've had a few people now, and over the years as we've done these shows, define, well, an idol has to be the perfect thing. And my argument is always, there's not a set definition of perfection. Perfection is dependent on... So there are idols in BTS you have a different quote-unquote range of looks.
Yeah.
And nobody would say anybody in BTS is unattractive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And this was an important note, which we both were happy to see. He's now getting the story, and what are some of the young ladies discovering?
He had some
Ji-hao
fans
is attractive.
in the before they do the live performance. They show some of the girls outside, and he had some girls with his signs and stuff.
But I'm saying it's because they're getting to know him.
Taste.
And attractiveness is not the physical appearance of somebody is maybe the initial thing. Like when I first met Leela, I was just like, holy crap, this is the cutest. I have to talk to her. It was literally like that for me. It was like a bolt of lightning. But then you stack on the story behind them, their likes, their dislikes, their everything, and that adds up. And so I hope he, after this, drop the ugly thing. Don't use it as a meme. Don't keep saying it.
Less concerned about how he feels about it. I need all the girlies online to shut up about it.
I think that's mostly trolls, and
stop
the vast
trolling.
majority of people are cool with it.
But I did want to do a dramatic reading of his lyrics because they're so good.
Yeah.
And he also did a really funny thing where he kissed Songwon's standee, which was really funny. And the girlies love it. He starts at saying Yichin and so on. Why didn't you pick me?
Because So-on didn't pick him for his team.
You know what I noticed So-on did? So-on picked K group trainees. He didn't pick the C group trainees. I
think So-on didn't mean anything by it. Maybe it's a language. I don't know. It's more familiar.
He said, "Watch me make the guys who didn't pick me regret it. This is our taste. Bopol isn't an easy game." I don't know what Bopol is. When you think of Jihao, you think of my face. Go write whatever comments you want. I know you hate me. I've got the courage to be. Even if I'm short, the air around me is on another level. Breathe it in. Even giants like you will fall too. Songwon Hyung even said it. My visuals are rank 0. And then where is this? I think that's all of his verse.
I think it a little bit. But, and the thing with height. Stop with the height stuff. I see that come up so much on subreddits about, I can't date a girl. They're all concerned about height. It's like, give me a break. Stop with this.
Yeah. So aside from that, everyone pointed out that his lyrics. Well, it's not like it's sad. Oh, I feel so sorry for him. Or whatever.
No, he's owning it a bit.
I think he's smart, and he is he gets it, and he reeds the room, and I appreciate that.
But the fact of the matter is, he's not an ugly guy. It's by any standard. So I just, in K-pop, when they start to peek behind the curtain, you don't want to do that.
It's frustrating.
We do not want to peek behind the curtain.
Aside from that, Zhongxing, after all the melodrama, he gets on stage, and the girls in the audience don't know that there's been melodrama behind the scenes, and does well. I thought, in my third watch of it, after I'm setting aside what we know about his fit that he had earlier, I was like, yeah, he did well, and he does sound really cool, and he raps in Chinese. It's really cool.
He's more confident. He's fast. He has a Snoop Dogg casual walk.
His raspy voice.
Well, I'm saying also how he carries himself on stage is very Snoop Dogg. Which Snoop Dogg, when he came out, was big because he sounded the way it is, and
skinny,
and he just looked like he didn't give a crap. And so I concentrate on that, Zhongxin. Stop worrying about all your... I know it's easier said than done, but he did good. And on the performance, we've been
Boeing has been in our top 8 this whole time. And I was like, great, this is his moment. This is his moment to shine. And he did well, but I think in the live performance, whether it was his mic or him mumbling, or whenever he kind of goes into his I'm doing my low tone Felix kind of thing, you just can't hear him, and it's not very clear. So it was kind of
I'm not a Stray Kids expert, but I think generally when Felix does his low thing, the music drops out a little bit because
that's true.
Because that low thing is hard to carry. You need that mid tone or that high tone.
Yeah.
So, but what's funny about Big Bo,
it kind of dropped out.
Yeah, but what's funny about Nien, they're calling him Nien, which I thought it was a cat, but anyway, Big Bo, is when he was rapping his normal tone, it wasn't as low. Mm-hmm. I know that's his shtick, whatever, but he needs to kind of forget that. Just keep it the normal tone because it carried well and it sounded great.
But I like the low tone. But I think, you said, you have to mix it and also enunciate it a little different when you're doing the deep voice.
And why did they ask the crowd to go get quiet for a minute so he could do it? Because they knew it needed to drop out a minute because it just doesn't carry.
It doesn't,
especially in a song with bass. But the big issue here was, and correct me if I'm wrong, was that the one Korean kid, Lee Jung, who I think did third in rank best. I think Bo actually came in, around there. Bo did the best rapping.
No, I think honest to God, that Lee Jung did the worst because he just sounded like he was talking because he's not a rapper. And I think this is more difficult than what you think it is. And
but you got to I'm giving him an extra little, I'd say they're hovering there. I think give him a little extra credit because he's never done it before. And he didn't have a great tone and stuff like that. But for him to get first is, I'm sorry if anybody thinks otherwise, a crime. It should have been Li Jihao or Shanqin, those two first, and then maybe Bo third, and Lee Jung last, or those two last somehow. I would have been fine with Lee Jihong being above Bo, just because he made, quote unquote, a mistake with the tone. From what we could hear. I'm a bit flabbergasted, but I have to say, if I was watching an English reality show, and the rappers were all doing English. And some of them started speaking a language I didn't understand, or some of them tried English and said MIC instead of MIC. I mean, said IMIC. It might distract you a little bit. You might be naturally, quote unquote, attracted more or more willing to vote for somebody you can understand. And I don't know. I'm giving him that benefit of the doubt, but I just don't think he should have been first. I would have been better with him being second or third. But Jihao owned the stage. He owns the show right now. And then Sean-Chin came behind him and backed him up well. I thought that those two are obviously on top. For them not to get it was, to me, sad. Who got lowest, Bo?
Bo.
Yeah, see, that's weird. I don't know. I think he was the only one you could say made a quote-unquote mistake. But he was great. So it was an interesting segment. I'm just sick of hearing all the just get to work, guys. I'm not talking bad about the guys. I'm just saying I'm sick of hearing this ugly this, I want to go home that. Let's get to work.
Yeah, but... So that was that performance. And then last we had our first dance performance, which is Like Jennie from Jennie again. I don't think I'd really listened to this song.
No, we don't do Jennie.
I liked her first
It's just
song,
it's not a world
solo.
we explore.
But we're not Blackpink fans, so I don't.
It's just too noisy.
It's so noisy. But yeah, so this was, Sangwon's song because he got to pick first. And he said it, which I think is true. It was like the most popular song of the list. This is the most song that people would know.
Sure.
And so you pick it because it's the most popular song.
It could be,
and people
it
would
could
like
work
it.
against you if you don't do it well, though.
Yeah, they gave you a bunch of kind of obscure song options, and then one that's like one of the most popular, performers in the world or whatever. So yeah, you're picking that one.
I think he also is in a comfortable position and he knows it, and I don't blame him at all. I'm not saying he's at all lazy or anything like that, but if you notice, I don't remember him saying this song would be challenging, that song would be hard or whatever. He just is kind of going, I want the popular song because I'm the popular kid mixed with the popular song.
And I think that there's a level of just a little tiny bit disappointment in that. His first round he did a sassy girl group song. His second round he's doing a sassy girl group song.
Yeah, I want to see him do something.
His outfits are almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit repetitive at this point. We know that you're good at this. But I don't think he had a lot of good choices. It would have been a little riskier. Maybe he would need to be more brave to pick one of those other dance songs because there was a couple that were English dance songs. Like an Eve song and an R&B song. That maybe he could have done that and it would have been a little more of surprising or refreshing because this is very samey. We
because
know
he didn't know who was going to be in his group either, so he picked it. So I think he would have done fine in almost any of the songs. I do think he's a bit of an ace. Other than singing, I haven't heard him sing really. I guess he did
he does.
And I do think he's just really comfortable right now, and I think he's just kind of it seems to me to be having a good time.
I get why he picked this song. Because the song lineup this year wasn't that great. But anyway, the other all-star, there's the two all-stars in the team. Him and then Chingy got to pick to be with him because they've been on a team before. It was not what I wanted Chingy to do because we had talked about in the past. Whenever he goes and he's up there next to Sangwon, he falls into the background.
Everybody falls to the background.
And instead of standing out. But I think the rest of the dance songs this year... What would I have liked him to see Chingy do?
I honestly would
maybe XXL.
That's what I was gonna say. He
kind of would have ate that up.
Our intro to Chingy was "Oh my," and that he does a
or
frenetic.
Christopher Bad, the R&B song.
Yeah, he does it. He needs to do more groovy stuff because he's crazy when he goes fast.
I was slightly disappointed for Chingy to pick this song and to be a background dancer again for Sangwon. And then,
try being Hyunjin.
And then, the two stars that came up, or again, all the extremely talented just happened to be in 2 Stars members, Harry June, super, super good. Hyunjun, we know how good he is. Junmin, they're in 2 Stars, but they're, really good. So this team, regardless of it being, 2 All-Stars and 3 2 Stars, is, it's an all-star team. It's the Avengers.
I don't like that term a lot of the time, but this is I mean, just with Ching and Hyunjin alone, I think you've got such a base of power, of interesting dynamics, but then you've got the look and the stage presence of Junmin, and then Harry June with his choreography was people don't talk about enough. These kids who choreograph this stuff is interesting.
Yeah,
Sungwon again. I don't think he should have been top in the votes, period. I don't care what people think. That you can defend it all you want. He is a good dancer. But what he did, if you just kind of mathematically score it with an AI or something, he didn't do, quote unquote, as much as the rest of them. Now, he didn't need to do a Chingu crazy break, and he didn't need to do the insane three-point landing from a lane position.
Literally, we have Chingy out here breaking his back on the stage, like for his little dance
literally
break
grabbing the votes, trying to grab the votes and pull them.
And Hyunjun over here doing a 3-point landing from laying on the ground. Like, what the crap?
I'm telling you, his stock right now is low, but that is a stock that in a few years is going to blow up.
Yeah.
He's not only is he going to become even a more handsome looking, because he is an interesting looking guy. Same with Chingy. Chingy's a little bit cuter, but when they get a little older, they're young, they will turn into men, and a lot of these girls will be like, "Oh, I should have liked him all along." Now, Sungwon does do a great job of what he does. He's confident in the center. He's a great center.
Yes.
I'm just saying, and he's a great dancer. Don't get me wrong. But I just think a lot of times this happens in these shows with the natural center. Not always. They kind of just do that center thing, and they're just kind of comfortable the whole time, and they just make it. There's no challenge to them ever. Yeah. He's in the group. He's number one. He might be number two behind somebody else, but I seriously doubt it. And so I just 100% do not agree at all with the voting. To give Hyunjin 70 of the 200 people there voted for Hyunjin. There's 200 people in the audience, and he got 700 points. So 70 people voted for him.
He got 840.
I'm sorry, 840. So 84 people. That we were talking about earlier. That is not as depressing as it sounds, especially when you say that the number one kid in the game right now only got 137 people. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying there is still 60-something people that didn't vote for him.
Right.
Which I hate that voting system anyway. But still, he is no doubt that he is a really good. But look up there. He got Yoonso got 14. This is what I was saying earlier.
More individual votes.
So he got, because maybe a smaller group, maybe a little bit more obvious. I don't know. So I like Sangwon.
And Lee Jong got 1,400.
Yeah, I love Sangwon. I think he's great. I think he's going to be good in the group. He's going to sell 1 billion cards and albums and stuff like that. Good for him. But I'm not always too drawn to the ones who are guaranteed in. I don't, because they don't really give them a lot. Now, they will probably give him a story later to make sure he gets into the group because he is $1 million seller or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the story here was with Junmin and his underconfidence, right?
So, yeah, the whole storyline this time, they gave it to Junmin, which I thought was actually really smart. And like I said before when we were talking about this is a TV show. They have to tell us stories. There are types of stories that we get. We get the talented person loses their confidence and gains it back. Mm. We get the younger person and older person make a friendship, and and isn't that wholesome? There's like
different archetypes.
There's different archetypes in the show, and they're focusing on Junmin this round because there's a little bit of the Sangwon fans were like getting frustrated that Junmin was the main character of this episode, but Sangwon already had his talented center lost his confidence arc last time.
I'm not saying there's nothing to Sangwon. There's plenty. They could do a story. He is the character of the whole show. So it's like
he got his story arc last time.
Yeah, fine, but he's also in the group. Like, what do we complain about anyway?
So there's really nothing like in addition to do that. So they gave it to Junmin because Junmin came into the team, is really good. Everyone likes him. Sangwon even said he wanted to be in a team with him.
Yeah, that was really cool.
But when they went to their midpoint practice, he was kind of like, Connie said he was looking down. He looked a little bit like he was being quiet. He wasn't really as confident as she wanted. And I was actually watching this one live. I woke up early and was watching it on my phone. And it was like scream crying at her pep talk for him and just like talking to him because she is me. I am her. She is me.
She feels like an actual fan.
She feels like a fan. Yeah. And she was like, look, if I had to, you are my one pick. You are my one pick. Yeah, you are who I want to be in this room. Yeah. And to see you not be confident in yourself or to be down was really disappointing. And he got a little emotional because, of all of that. And then she goes over and gives him a hug, you guys. I was scream crying at that. That was so sweet.
It would have hit different if it was the other the guy. You'd be like, oh, all right. I told Leela, the funny thing is a bunch of other kids were like, I'm sad too. Can I get a hug? Katie, please. That.
But
She smells good too.
I love her,
room full
like
of sweat smell, and she smells good.
I love her fangirling over him. I thought that was
why I
really
believe
sweet.
that too. She was a fan of so much of the other earlier stuff. She's 3 or 4 moments, but that one with the boy love actor, and she said, "Oh,
yes, she's a fangirl."
Then she says, "She's saying, when can I have that jacket?" She's not just being
She's
funny.
so
She
fun.
seems to be kind of enjoying.
I just thought it was super sweet, and like people grumping about it, like it's production.
Those people.
She's
brought
not
to bed
production.
anything,
She's just being herself.
Look, anything
and
not
that's
featuring
cute.
their favorite.
And
there's a different.
I thought it was just really sweet, and
Yes.
also we learned that like through this, even though like again after this episode, and he said, if I don't make this, I don't think I have a group to go back to." I was like, wait a minute, I thought you were like Weeb or whatever. They had a comeback not too long ago, but he said that the group at this point is technically like not active.
Yeah.
So that after this, there might not be anymore, but I don't know if that's true.
A common story.
Or just
shows
his, like,
the
perception.
label says, "Hey guys, we have one of these. Anybody wants to go to this reality show?"
This
that's
is
why
your last chance.
Yeah, that's why you'll see sometimes 2 or 3 people from.
So
the
it's
group
kind of
come on.
this is his like, desperation play to continue being an idol, which is a trope. It's the trope that Ji-woon got last time.
But it is. There is
that,
truth to it because
wants
age is
to-
a factor
yeah.
as well.
And
He's 23.
yeah,
Right. So age is a factor.
yeah. But so I love that he was the main character. I thought he did great. It was great. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. But like Chingy and Chingy and Harry June went and did their like solo dances on the side.
Yeah.
And we're like breaking their backs for everyone. And I feel like, if we want to rationalize why they got lower votes, it's because like not everyone could see them from
You
that
literally
angle.
could. If you were short, you wouldn't be able to see.
Unless you were right in front of them. Whenever you go to those sides, like not necessarily everyone can see you. So I was like, maybe that was part of it, but
No, I'm giving credit to someone. He will sell tickets. The guy, and that's not a non-talent. That is a talent.
The storyline here was though that Junmin went up to All Star because he was the second highest voted with Sangwon. So and then Chingy went down to 2-star, and then Harry June and Hyun Jun stayed at 2-star.
Yeah. I don't think that Chingy and Hyunjin just maybe they don't speak a lot or something. They're not. I don't. Some of the idol wannabes go here and just get to work and don't really do drama or don't. They just kind of start working. So you got to give them
if
something.
Like as a Chingy fan, I do resent Mnet for not giving me the backstory of him and Yumeki making friends.
Yeah, we never saw that.
Especially after his initial audition and the early performance, they like really played on that. Oh, look, he's a fan of Yumeki. They're here. They definitely got to know each other. They definitely worked well together and like became close or whatever.
Yeah.
Because in the behind the scenes for the Whiplash Studio Chum, oh my god, they were so freaking cute together.
Yeah.
Like I'm not joking. Every time there's a camera with the two of them in the same room, Chi is like grasped onto Yumeki in one way or another. He's like holding his arm. He's like holding on to him, and they were like playing that game where you draw on the person's back and guess the word.
Yeah.
That was the cutest thing I'd ever seen in my goddamn life.
I hate those studio chums because it makes you go, that's going to be a good group, and you realize, oh, that's probably not going to be a group.
And then them not giving that, so I do resent them.
Yeah, not giving you
for
the back, or
not
just the
giving me
meeting, the
that.
first kind of meeting, nervous meeting. He's like, hey, you're my
Because
favorite,
I know that they could. I know that the content is there.
They filmed everything. Yeah.
I know the content, but they don't want to give attention to Yumeki, I don't think.
I don't think they're worried about that because they know there's certain idols they can give, certain people they can give a huge bunch to because they know they're not going to make it. They just see the number of clicks and the interest and the keywords and all that crap. Trust me, I'm thinking that Hyunjin and Chingyu just don't get a lot of attention. Period.
No, they do.
And so maybe they're just like, yeah, we're not. But we still have time to give them a sob story or to give them some attention. I think Harry June's due for one too.
Yeah, he choreographed the whole thing and got no screen time. So I agree with the fans that are annoyed by that. I understand. I'm with you. Going on to our top 8. So I have to explain myself.
I didn't even look at yours. Who's gone now? What did we do here?
I dropped Hyunjun out of my top 8.
Oh, here we go.
Because I feel like the show has written him off.
I'll see you later.
I think the show has written him off. And I just feel like, what am I supposed to do with that? So the only change was, for today, Hyunjin is not in my top 8, even though I really like him a ton. And I added back in Anshin. Because listen, he did what I wanted him to do, and he went and he chose the ballad.
He's picked a vocal song.
He went and he chose the ballad. and he's away from the other Avengers. He's away from Sangwon's shadow.
He's got to start forging his own thing. Because he's going to be in the group.
Yes. He went to a slow song and a vocal song with the two very, very members.
Yeah.
And we've only seen little clips, but I just think he's going to do really well.
Yeah,
and I want to see it, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, Sangwon is the confident, center guy. He's going to be the more sensitive vocal. Aww. It's going to be a nice story.
So I was like, oh man, he's back in. He's back in.
But this is what I always say. You have to give room to, I have 3. I don't think I have 3 that are, I think, the most pretty likely to make it into the group. You have to be you give yourself somebody, if they make it in, you're like, oh, cool. Leo, Junmin, and Shinlong. I think that they have the best chances of my group, of course, to make it in. And so if one of them does, I'll be happy with that. I have to, because I've ran across these shows where nobody made it, and it wasn't that I didn't like them, but that I was pulling for, and I was just kind of completely just uninterested in the group, which is a bit childish, but whatever. So for me, this one was just more fun. Usually I try to be more scientific. I want to have 3 rap, 3 vocal, and 2 dance, just because, but now I'm just kind of throwing in some that I have lately been cool. I think Leo I'm concerned about because they showed his numbers. We'll see next time.
So, but what they did with Leo this week, we haven't seen his performance, so we don't know. But they showed the trailer before we got the episode this week.
It's a weird, yeah.
And it was focused on his group, which didn't perform in this week's episode. What was going on? So they showed the trailer, and it was him getting scolded by One Star or whatever, the vocal coach.
Yeah.
And it was like, what? And they actually spoiled the votes in his team, in the Queen Card team.
Yeah.
And that Leo got the lowest amount of live votes.
Well, so they showed everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah. Who was number 1?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I was traumatized that he got the lowest votes. And I was trying not to crash out in the middle of the night when I had seen that preview go up.
Man.
But in the moment, you're just like, Mnet, I hate you. What are you doing? And then I was like, calm down. Think about it. They're pushing for everyone to start voting for him again.
Well, I think
they released that early because we have all this time left in voting to get his fans mobilized, to get him probably back in the top 8 because he might have dropped.
How many do you vote for now? How many we vote for now? 5?
5.
Oh, yeah. It's going to start mattering.
So
real
I think
quick.
that really horrible reveal they did, totally revealing the full votes for that team, was to
there's a reason
mobilize because what the heck.
Here's my theory. I like to just come up with theories, and I think we had a commenter who was actually in Korea. I can't remember. I don't think we had one that has been to the show before. I think we did a couple, in Girls Planet or something. They actually went to the live show. No, we met him on the subreddit. A guy who translated for us. I think that the 200 people who are invited to the show have got to be probably from active in the community.
Yeah.
Fan club people.
Yeah.
And those people are organized as hell.
Yes, they are.
And
strategic.
Strategic. When they agree that there is a controversy maybe that they should cancel somebody for, or let's knock that person out because they might hurt our favorite.
Yeah.
There are some of these contenders who they all agree with, almost, not all, but a lot of them agree with, yeah, let's go ahead and knock them out. And I think that might be Leo, unless something happened in the performance that was weird. A piece of guitar flew off and cut somebody.
This is what happened. They took Queen Card. Again, we'll get into this in more depth next time, but I freaking hate that song. It is awful.
It's so cringy.
It is so cringy.
My boobs, butt.
Oh my God.
She didn't even say boob. She said boob.
Oh,
one single boob.
No, I don't. Oh.
And my butt. My one butt. It's 2 butts, right? How many butts? Buttocks? My one butt. My one boob.
Took that god awful song. Anyway, he rearranged it into a rock version, which is cool. They did that last year.
Girls Planet, they did too.
Yeah, everyone always takes the song.
That's fine. They don't do rock.
So he did that, so they performed that, and then at the end he broke the guitar.
Yeah, which is fine.
I think that might have been a little too aggressive for the girlies in the room. The breaking the guitar was too aggressive. he was like doing
The
too
thing
much,
is
and they were like, "Oh, I don't like that," and so they just vote for him. That's the only thing I can
about
think
Leo
of.
too is he might lose a few because he is technically debuted. He's been on tour. He's done.
No,
He's
he's not in a group. That's
no,
different.
but I'm just saying. I think I don't know. I can't. I think he might seem maybe a bit arrogant just because he's comfortable and he's like
Yeah,
an idol.
I could see that.
I don't know. Maybe they don't like his look. He looks
Well,
like
he's a
Leonardo
little
DiCaprio.
mellow, so that it's like comes off.
He's-
You could read that as arrogant if you wanted.
He's due,
but I don't think
he's
it
due
is.
for
But he's
a
mellow.
good edit.
Please.
And I think they will give it to him.
Yeah.
Because I think they see he came from Hive, right? Hive World.
Yeah.
And so did Sungwon, right? Correct.
Yes.
So there's a built-in audience there. That's like a family of fans.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be a fan of all your groups because their one favorite group is on your label. It is insane.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a backlog and a history of showing what he can do, and he could. I think that's the direction they're going to go in the group, is a bit more modern sounding. Not
I
K-pop.
hope so.
I think so. I think it's time, but who knows?
But
And so I think Mnet says, this is a guy, and you got to remember, the labels can pay Mnet to do whatever as well. They just can't mess with the votes. They can pay for a good edit.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
I guarantee it. They just can't mess with the votes. I guarantee it. But so I'm kind of shocked at the Leo thing as well. But he hasn't had his moment quite yet. He's just kind of always been there.
But
if you think about it,
it's
he hasn't been
happened
there
more
since-
than once here, where someone who was getting voted last. It's just the girls in the room have too much power anyway.
Yeah.
That's
I think
it.
from both of our lists, he might be the only one who squeaks in there. Who knows?
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm just saying.
Don't say that. I'm voting for him always, and he's
No,
my
that's
one
why
pick.
you should.
He's
We
my one
want
pick.
him in there.
Especially, I love everyone else. I've talked about everyone else way more than I've talked about him. He's my one pick.
Mine has got to be, I think, Shinlong. I'm
Yeah.
going Shinlong. I just think I think he's going to make an interesting.
Yeah,
I
when we cross that bridge. But yeah, I think that's it for this week. Next week we have just like a dozen performances to go through. It's going to be crazy. But yeah, and then we will see who actually wins all
It was a
these
fun
rounds.
episode.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I think they're going to give no time to the rest of these performances. It's going to go so
I
fast.
kind of just
but-
want to see the performances anyway.
Yeah.
I like the behind the scenes.
I'm looking forward to
stuff, though.
fan cams this week, so
Yeah.
that too. Okay, so thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000. That would be really helpful. And thank you
Yeah.
as always for listening. And let us know in our comments what you think of has your top 8 been changing, because like
Lila.
I've been waffling.
Well, now's the time to waffle. We don't have to get that. It's
It
not
is-
down to the wire yet.
It is time to waffle. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you next time.